Okay, so we discuss about privileges of parliament, right? Collective privileges and individual privileges. Now we will move forward and we will discuss the devices which are available in parliament. Okay, so I hope you know that in the previous class we discussed about sessions of the parliament. There are 3 sessions of parliament: budget session, monsoon session and winter session, that is there. And we discussed the timing of the session also. So it will start from morning 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. then 2 to 6 p.m. right? I hope you remember. So what is that question hour? First hour of every parliamentary sitting or session, either it is a Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So first hour is a question hour. First hour is what? It is a question hour. So what they do in this question hour? So generally in this question hour, member of parliaments are there, right? They ask the question to the ministers. They ask the question to the ministers about their ministry, function of ministry, policy and all those things. Personal question they won't ask. Okay, so generally in this question hour, MP will ask the question to the ministers regarding their functioning of the ministry, policies related to those ministry. But remember one thing, in this question hour, not only the MP will ask the question to the minister, even the question can be asked to the private member also. Any member of parliament who is not a minister, that member is a private member. So one member of parliament can ask the question to the another member of parliament in question hour. So member of parliament can ask the question to the ministers and member of parliament can ask the question to the other ministers. Okay, so when this will start? First hour of session or proceedings of the houses of the parliament, right? So this question hour will be regulated by whom, under what? So this question hour is regulated under parliamentary rules. Okay, presiding officer of both the houses of the parliament are the final authority with respect to the conduct of question hour. Okay, they have the final authority. They will decide whether that question hour should be implemented or not. So they have that final authority. Got it? And type of question. What type of question they can ask? Question, I said, question related to the ministry, matter of public importance, policy and all those things. Personal question they cannot ask. So in question hour also there can be 3 type of questions. Start questions. Okay, start questions. So these questions are asked orally. So oral answer has to be given by the minister or any member of private member. Okay, if the question asked against them. So oral question and oral answer. So in this start question there is a possibility of supplementary question. That means they ask one question, minister give answer to that question. Then based upon that answer, another question can be raised. So that is a supplementary question. So that supplementary question can be allowed here or it can be followed in start question. Unstart question. Unstart question, oral question they will ask, but the answer should be in a written format. The answer should be in written format. So here supplementary question is not allowed. Okay, short notice question. So they can ask the question by giving the notice of not less than 10 days. By giving the notice of not less than 10 days. And the answer should be orally. And the answer should be oral. So these are the 3 types of question. What is that? Start question, oral answer, supplementary question can be a possible. Then unstart question means the answer should be in a written format, and what is that? Supplementary question cannot be followed. Then short notice question, the question has to be given, the question has to be asked by not less than 10 days notice should be given, and the answer to this question should be in oral. Got it? So these are the 3 types of questions which can be asked in question hour. Okay, so generally 4 minutes were given. 4 minutes were given for this each question and answer session, not more than that. Okay, so what about the frequency? So question hour is held on all days of the session except 2 days. Question hour will be held in all days of the session in both the houses of the parliament except 2 days. What are those 2 days? When finance minister, when finance minister present the budget, that is 1 day, and another day when president give the speech, when president will address both the houses of the parliament. Okay, so generally at the beginning of the new Lok Sabha, at that time the president will address this Lok Sabha. So at that time question hour won't be there. Apart from that time, president also address both the houses of the parliament at the beginning of first session of new year, budget session. At the beginning of the budget session, president will give the speech and address both the houses of the parliament. At that time also there was no question hour, and apart from this two, every day question hour is there. Okay, so this is about what? This is about question hour. Okay, then 0 hour. Now what is 0 hour and when it will start? Immediately after the end of the question hour. Immediately after the end of the question hour, 0 hour will start. 0 hour will start. So generally question hour is for 1 hour. So that is from 11 AM to 12 noon. So 0 hour will start from 12 noon. Right. And please remember, it is a innovation of the Indian Parliament. Innovation of Indian Parliament, and it is nowhere mentioned in the parliamentary rule books, and it is nowhere mentioned in rules of the Indian Parliament. It is not mentioned, and it is an Indian innovation. Okay, so what is that 0 hour? Under this 0 hour, the member of parliament, that member of parliament can raise any matter of discussion of public importance. Okay, they can raise any matter without the prior notice. Without prior notice. Actually, for debate, discussion, motion has to be introduced in the House of the Parliament. For that, notices others has to give. But in case of 0 hour, okay, in case of 0 hour, any MP can raise the matter without the prior notice. And what is the timing? So generally what will happen, every house of the parliament, whenever it is in a session, they have an agenda. They have a agenda. That question hour, these questions can be asked. Then from 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock we'll start our business. Regular business. Business discussion. That is the business of both the houses of the parliament, right? So 0 hour will start immediately after the question hour and end while the regular business of the house has taken up. You are understanding? Okay, so that is a 0 hour. Got it? So 0 hour will start immediately after the question hour and end when the regular business of the house has taken away. So generally it is a 0 hour is a gap between the question hour and the agenda of the house. So this is about the 0 hour. Got it? Then next, motions. Now what are motions? What are motions? So motions are nothing but it is a proposal made by the member of parliament. For what purpose? For any matter of discussion. For any matter of discussion. Which discussion? The matter of public importance, not the personal thing they will discuss in the House of the Parliament. They discuss the matter of the public importance. So for that, first proposal has to made. So that proposal is nothing but a motion. Okay, so we have different types of motions. We have substantive motions, we have subsidiary motions. So one by one we will discuss. So what is this substantive motions? This is an independent and standalone motion. Remember, this motion is an independent motion and standalone motion. So this motion can be introduced or made a proposal can be introduced. Why? For the purpose of impeachment of the president, or impeachment of the vice president, impeachment of what you call judges of Supreme Court or High Court, or impeachment of CAG or Chief Election Commissioner, or no confidence motion. Okay, so that is there. So that is a standalone motion, and standalone motion is a substantive motion. Okay, and it required the approval from the presiding officers. For initiative, simply this motion cannot be introduced by the member of parliament. They require the approval of whom? Presiding officer. So if this motion is adopted by the house, agreed by the house, then formal discussion will be started. Then after the discussion, voting will be there. You're understanding? So that is substantive motions. So what are the key aspects? It is an independent standalone motion. It is not depends on other motions. What is the purpose? Purpose is like removal or impeachment of president, Supreme Court, High Court, presiding officer, no confidence motion. Okay, so for that purpose they can introduce the substantive motion. So what is that procedure? Formal notice is required and voting will be done by the house. So obviously outcome will be there. So example of this substantive motion, resolutions are there. Resolutions. So all the resolutions are considered substantive motions. Why? Because the resolutions are the opinion of the house. The resolutions are opinion of the house. Resolutions are also proposal. Resolutions are also proposal made by the MP on the matter of discussion, on the public policy or the matter of public importance. Okay, but resolution has to pass. Voting will be there. Okay, and substantiary motion, voting is there. So that is the reason why all the resolutions are substantive motions, but all the motions are not resolutions. Please remember, all the resolutions are substantive motion, but all the motions, we have different motions, all the motions are not resolution. Okay, remember this point. This is very, very important. And presiding officer is having a full authority either to admit or reject the motion. Proposal made, but it depends upon the presiding officer whether to accept that proposal or motion or reject that proposal or motion. So that is substantive motion. Then substitute motion. Substitute, name itself suggests. If coffee is not there, tea is the substitute. If the tea is not there, coffee is the substitute. If sugar is not there, jaggery is the substitute. Like that. So here we have substitute motion also. Is it an independent motion? No, it is not at all an independent motion. It is an alternative motion to the original motion or a substantive motion. Substantive motion is an independent motion. Okay, if this motion is not going well, we have a substitute motion. We have a substitute motion. Okay, so here if you observe, this motion is totally depends upon the original motion context. I will discuss here. What is it? So when this motion can be introduced? Okay, when original motion is discussed. When original motion is discussing. Okay, in between this motion can be introduced. In between this motion can be introduced. Now take an example, motion of thanks. So we will discuss in later class what is motion of thanks. Generally, as we discussed earlier, it is the president who addresses both the houses of the parliament. Okay, at the beginning of every year and at the beginning of new Lok Sabha. So at that time motion has to pass. So that motion is nothing but motion of thanks. Right, so that is an example. Whenever that motion of thanks on the president address or any debate on the public policy, at that time this substantive motion can be introduced. Okay, why they will introduce this motion? For the alternative or other view or other action can be taken. One original motion is telling that this action should be taken, but substantive motion can be introduced and telling that rather than this, take this action, or debate on this rather than debating on This you are understanding. So it is like an alternative to the substantive motion or original motion. So if substantive motion is adopted, then the original motion will be rejected. Substantive, obviously if you have accepted the alternative, then the original will be deleted, don't you think so? Right, so here also same thing. If substantive motion is adopted, original motion will deemed to be replaced. In this motion there is no such amendments are permitted. Amendments are not permitted. So example, what is that? If the government moves a motion to consider a policy, to consider a particular public policy, right, then what do you call this, MP can introduce the substantive motion that rather than this policy, go for different policy, alternative. So that is substantive motion, substitute motion. Substantive motion is independent. Then subsidiary motion. Okay, subsidiary motion. Subsidiary motion is also generally depends upon the substantive motion. Okay, so it is not an independent motion. Generally, why the subsidiary motion will be introduced? For debate is there, right? To prolong the debate, modify the debate, or delay the debate. Okay, for that purpose only the subsidiary motion can be introduced. Generally, there are three types of subsidiary motion. So what is that? Ancillary motion. It does not do anything. Regular method. Okay. If this motion is introduced, conduct the business on a regular, regular way, regular proceedings, such as, take an example, moving the bill into consideration and put for vote and pass it. It won't interrupt anything. Okay, so that is ancillary motion, which is a part of subsidiary. Superseding motion. Okay, so this is introduced or moved during a debate. During a debate. One debate is going on a particular, based upon a particular motion, right? To delay this debate or to prolong this debate, okay, or to replace any question, main question on the debate, this motion will be introduced. Superseding motion. Amendments. So this is also a type of subsidiary motion, amendment. So this motion is what? Modify or replace specific part of the original motion. When they introduce the original motion, substantive motion, right? So in that motion there are certain provisions are there, parts are there, right? So to change that part, either add a new part or remove a existing part. For that, amendment motion can be introduced. Understanding? Subsidiary motion. Ancillary motion is what? No need of any changes. Superseding, what? Delay. Delay or replace the question. Here, replace the specific part or modify the specific part of the original motion. Substantive motion is the original motion. I hope you remember. Substitute, it is a substitute to the other motion. Subsidiary motion, it is not an independent motion. It is just substitute to do a particular thing like delay, replace, okay, the particular parts of the debate, that which is the debate is going on based upon the original motion. Understood? So generally this is a three types of motions are there. Others are also there, but this is related to the proposals. Okay, for discussion and all those things. Now we have one more motion, that is closure motions. What is that closure motions? Okay, so under this closure motion, see, debate, discussions, all is going on, right? But time limit is there. Time limit is there, right? So whenever the time limit has been crossed for a particular debate or a discussion, at that time this closure motion can be introduced. It can be introduced. So when this motion has adopted, discussion on that particular debate or discussion on that particular topic or discussion on that particular bill will be stopped and put for vote. Put for vote. In simple language, time is not sufficient to discuss each and every point of the bill. For 1 hour, they discuss 10 points of the bill. Right. Now, closure motion will be introduced. Now, discussion will be gone. Okay. Just put that bill for vote. So, that is closure motion. And closure motion has to pass by simple majority. Consideration of the House is required. So there are 4 types of closure motion. What is that? Simple closure. In that simple closure, sufficient time we got it to discuss a public particular bill or particular debate or particular matter on public importance. Now we will close this. We will close this motion and go for the closure motion, that is a simple closure, and put for vote. Okay, that is there. Closure by compartment. If the bill is very lengthy, or resolutions are very lengthy, so bill or resolution will be divided into the parts and vote as a whole to save the time. Here enough time they got. Here lack of time is there. What they did, divided into the different part and put those part for a voting. So that is closure by compartment. Kangaroo closure. You know how kangaroo jump? So in the same way, this closure also same meaning. What is that kangaroo closure? Only important clauses of the debate or bill will be discussed and vote, and rest are considered as a skip. They will skip. Okay, how kangaroo jump na? Right, in the same way. Whatever the important thing is there, we will discuss, debate and vote. Rest other important thing, skip. That is kangaroo motion. Guillotine closure. Guillotine closure motion. So what is that guillotine closure motions? Whenever the time for the discussion is completed. Whenever the time for the discussion is completed. Okay, all the remaining clauses are there, right? For the bill or the demands of grants are put for vote. All are put for vote. They won't skip. In kangaroo closure, they will skip the unimportant things. But in guillotine motion, important thing, discuss things also they will put for vote, and the provisions which they didn't discuss and least important, those also put for vote. Why? Because time is over. Time is over. So because of that. So these are the 4 types of closure motion. Simple closure, closure by compartment, simple closure, time, enough time we got. Compartment closure, time is not sufficient, so bill divided into compartment or parts, put for vote. Kangaroo, discuss and vote only the important thing, unimportant thing skip. Here discuss the important thing and not discuss the unimportant thing, but both things they are put for vote. So this is about the closure motion.